This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, December 6th, 2018. This is John Frenay, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Back on December 1st at approximately 2 a.m., a pedestrian was struck on Fort Smallwood Road up in Pasadena at the intersection of Homeland Road. And when police arrived, they found that a pedestrian that was dressed in dark clothing was walking against traffic in the northbound travel lane of Fort Smallwood Road. He was struck by a VW and pronounced dead on the scene. Now, the pedestrian has been identified as an Annapolis man, 43-year-old Michael Ireland of Magnolia Ridge Road in Annapolis. And the preliminary cause of the accident is pedestrian failing to yield to the roadway traffic and to walk in the available shoulder. The police did say there's no indication of excessive speed or alcohol use by the driver that struck Ireland. Later this afternoon and early this evening, you may hear some shooting in Annapolis. It is not any kind of a crime. Public safety agencies are coming together to do an active shooter drill at the J. Albert Adams Academy in Annapolis. They're going to have police, fire, and EMS, as well as media, responding to a news conference. And this is all taking place between 3:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. tomorrow. And as a result, the police will have Clay Street at the intersection of Rideout Street closed, as well as Glenwood Street at the intersection of Harwood Place. Police are warning people in the area that they will see a considerable amount of police presence and police gear, tactical clothing, as well as simulated gunshots. We got word yesterday that President Trump is scheduled to attend the 108th match between Army and Navy football this weekend in Philadelphia. Trump did attend the game in 2016 when he was president-elect, and he spoke with Vern Lundquist during the broadcaster's final game, sort of putting his foot in his mouth when he said, "I don't know if it's necessarily the best football, but it's very good. But boy, do they have spirit." Now, traditionally, when a president does attend a game, he will switch sides at halftime, both physically and symbolically, and usually will spend some time with the Brigade of Midshipmen or the Corps of Cadets in the stands. If nothing else, President Trump is a non-traditional president, so it remains to be seen how involved with the pomp and circumstance he will be. The last president to attend an Army-Navy game was President Obama in 2011, and that game was held at FedEx Field. In advance of the Army-Navy game, the Naval Academy held a pep rally on Tuesday night. It was held in Tecumseh Court as opposed to on Hospital Point, and that was sort of, I don't want to say postponed because it actually happened before it was supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen last night, but they moved it ahead just because of the day of mourning for President Bush's funeral. You want to check out eyeonannapolis.net. Glenn Miller was there. He captured some great photos of the scene as the Brigade of Midshipmen held their pep rally. Of course, Eye on Annapolis will be at the Army-Navy game in Philadelphia this weekend. You want to make sure you're checking in with eyeonannapolis.net, following us on Twitter, which is at eyeonannapolis. We'll be putting up periodic Facebook updates as well as audio updates. We'll be up there with Kevin Chaney with Shellback Sports, as we are at all the Navy football games. Hey, Columbia, Maryland has been named the safest city in the United States. Wallet Hub, which is an organization that does all sorts of studies, they studied nearly 40 different metrics within three primary types of safety: home and community safety, natural disaster risk, and financial safety. And Columbia had a total score of 85.98 out of 100 and did especially well in the home and community safety category, coming in at number 4. They ranked 34 for financial safety and number 63 for natural disaster risk. Annapolis didn't make the list just because it's too small of a city, but Baltimore did, and they didn't make it at the top. Baltimore City scored 65.08 points out of 100 and ranked 156 out of 182 cities. It did do well in the natural disaster risk, so I guess we don't have to worry about any tornadoes or wildfires destroying Baltimore. They came in number 67 there, but they came in at number 155 for home and community safety and number 149 for financial safety. Not too good for the city of Baltimore. But what is good for the city of Annapolis is what's happening tonight from 6 to midnight. Yes, it is Midnight Madness. It's the first of 3. The next one will be next Thursday, and the next one will be the following Thursday. The streets are all decorated. The storefronts are all decorated with holiday trees, garland. We had the grand illumination a couple weeks ago. It is a great time to get out there. You'll have dozens of musicians performing along the sidewalks, along Maryland Avenue, West Street, Main Street. You're going to find the alpacas, which are always a lot of fun, on Upper Main Street there at the Alpaca Store. The Annapolis City Police will be out in force, and instead of handing out tickets, they're going to be handing out hot chocolate And we have Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis to thank for this. They have sponsored this now for 8 consecutive years. And without them, and actually Homestead Gardens, who helps out with the greenery and certainly the Christmas tree, Annapolis wouldn't nearly be as beautiful as it is at Christmas time down here. Make sure you get down there one of these Thursday nights. Oh, and find Snowflake Alley and take a selfie. That's become one of those must-do things on Midnight Madness. All right, that is about it. Please make sure you check back on eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day. You want to recommend us to your friends and colleagues. And if you have a chance to give us a rating or a review, please do that because we would certainly appreciate it. Now, you want to hang tight? We have Trevor with your Annapolis Maker Minutes coming up because it is Thursday and he's here every Thursday. And we have George Young, who is here with us every day, who may have some talk about snow over the weekend. Oh, hey, I almost forget to mention, make sure you're checking out the Maryland Crabs podcast today. We did an outstanding interview, if I say so myself, with T.J. Smith, who used to be the public information officer for the Anne Arundel County Police Department, but he was the face of the Baltimore City Police Department for 3 years after the riots and the death of Freddie Gray. He had some incredible insight. He had some incredible stories, including the death of his own brother who was shot in the city of Baltimore, and really some thoughts about what Baltimore needs to do to get their act together. This is probably one of the best episodes we've ever had on the Maryland Crabs. You want to make sure you check that out. That drops at noon today, and you can get it at themarylandcrabs.com, or you can just search for it on iTunes or Google Play or wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to it because we put them out every week in case you didn't know. All of that is coming up in just a minute.
From Main Street to Maryland Avenue, West Street to Ego Alley, and the circles in between. Shop local this holiday season by shopping at Midnight Madness in historic downtown Annapolis, with all stores open until midnight this Thursday. Post a selfie from Snowflake Alley, sip cocoa on City Dock, visit the baby alpacas, and on every street corner, enjoy dancers, carolers, and music. It's Midnight Madness. Visit DowntownAnnapolisPartnership.org. Midnight Madness is sponsored by the Downtown Annapolis Partnership, Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis, and WRNR.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and here's your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, December 6th. Cold air has settled into the Annapolis region, and high temps will remain 5 to 15 degrees below average into early next week as high pressure moves in with sunshine and temps upper 30s to low 40s today through Saturday, with cold but dry conditions expected both tonight for Midnight Madness in downtown Annapolis as well as Saturday for the 3 p.m. Army-Navy football game in Philadelphia. But then clouds will likely move in Sunday, but the big question still remains about whether or not Anne Arundel County will see any snowfall from a storm that is entering the west coast of the U.S. now and will trek its way across the southern tier of the country over the next several days as it heads for the east coast somewhere. And while there's plenty of guidance showing this storm heading out to sea around the Carolinas on Sunday into Monday, the reality is all options are still on the table, and the next 24 to 36 hours should bring much clearer answers as the various weather models finally start to use actual observed data from the storm itself to depict potential outcomes. So while we'll hold off until around noon tomorrow for our official forecast for this storm, we currently think some snow will fall in the region, but stay tuned for updates and we'll put out our official take around lunchtime tomorrow. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Stay warm and make it a great day out there today. And be sure to download our free app by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, or follow us on Facebook or Twitter, or on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to visit our Facebook page and join in on our first official snowfall prediction contest of the season for the potential storm on Sunday into Monday.
There is a diamond of diamonds. It's from De Beers. Only 14 diamond tears in the world can touch them. Its name, Forevermark. And Zachary's is the only jeweler in the Annapolis area that has it. Not only is it beautiful and rare, it has a story, supporting women in diamond-producing areas around the world. So when you give a Forevermark diamond, you don't just give, you give back. Zachary's and Forevermark, a jeweler and a jewel. Online at zacharysjewelers.com.
Every week, makers, crafters, and educators hold events all over the area. Highlighting some of those, here's our Makers Minute, brought to you by Annapolis Makerspace.
Hey, this is Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes. Today and for the next few Thursdays, the Girls Who Code Club will be meeting at the Bowie Branch Library. It's a great way for girls grades 6 through 12 to work on their computer science education and get some tech industry exposure. Saturday up at UMBC is the 4th Annual Women in STEAM Festival. Be inspired by female professionals in the fields of robotics, engineering, biology, architecture, computer science, graphic design, finance, and many other STEM fields. With hands-on workshops, learn about exciting careers and hear inspirational stories from women in STEAM. Also Saturday at the South Bowie Library is Teens Coding with Unity. This Tag Labs workshop will teach you how to design 3D environments for gaming and virtual reality. There's so much holiday stuff going on, I just wanted to highlight a few things real fast. Now through Saturday up at Silborn Arboretum, they're doing a wreath-making workshop. Today through Sunday, Micah is having their annual art market. Tonight is the first Midnight Madness in Annapolis for the year. Tonight they're also doing the monument lighting in Baltimore. Starting tomorrow and running Fridays and Saturdays through the 22nd is Illuminated London Town, where you can enjoy hot cider, roast some s'mores, and wander through London Town's historic area, exploring the gardens, illuminated with holiday festival lights, and enjoy some special performances each week. Tomorrow is Ellicott City's Midnight Madness. Saturday is the Eastport Yacht Club's Lights Parade, which is always a local hit. Check out all the boats decked out with holiday light displays. Also Saturday up in Rockville is a Winterfest Bazaar at the University's Shady Grove, as well as out in Silver Spring. There's the Silver Spring Arts and Crafts Holiday Fair and Christmas Market. And don't forget that Lights on the Bay is still going on out at Sandy Point. Tomorrow is the Comcast and First Responders Night, and Sunday is Liquefied Creative's Ugly Sweater Night. This week at Art Farm Annapolis, now through the 15th, the Fearless Girls Photography Group Expedition is going on at Maryland Hall. Tonight for Midnight Madness, they're having their Midnight Madness Market. So don't forget the Arts District when you're downtown for Midnight Madness. Art Farm will be having batch jam and jelly tastings, a snack table, rosé station, and lots of great curated items for sale. And tomorrow night at Art Farm is the Friday Make It Night with block printing. Learn how to create your own custom pattern, carve a block, and print onto paper gift bags. Trade and share stamps with other students to make different patterns, and each student will get 5 bags to print, and you can take your stamp home to create more prints later. Also at Art Farm on Tuesday is their Kids Movie and Arts Night. This week at the Anne Arundel County Public Library System. Tonight in Odenton is their Hour of Code. Also tonight at the Maryland City at Russet Library is Storytime STEM for preschoolers. Monday in Linthicum is Maker Mondays, and Tuesday at Odenton is STEAM Tuesdays, as well as their Kids Can Build workshop later that day. At Unallocated Space in Severn this week, tonight you have their InfoSec night, tomorrow night is Amateur Radio night, Tuesday is Electronics Fundamentals with DC Circuits, and Wednesday is their lockpicking night. This week at Pongo's Learning Lab and Coder Kids Club in Crofton, today and tomorrow their Hour of Code continues. Today is their Robotics Club Thursdays, tomorrow is Gamer Friday, Tuesdays is their Coder Kids Club as well as their Cosplay night, and Wednesday is their YouTube Stars and Animators Club. At Annapolis Makerspace, sign-ups are open for a wood burning class with Bonnie from Daydreams Factory. It's on Sunday the 16th, and you'll turn wood cigar boxes into works of art using pyrography or wood burning. Only 8 spots are available, so head over to the event page found on our website and sign up today. And as always, Monday nights are a great night to make some sawdust with our woodworkers, and Thursday nights are great for anything electronics, programming, Arduino, Raspberry Pi, anything like that. And you can catch me tonight and every Thursday night at Annapolis Makerspace on Renard Court for Electronics Night, and you can find links to all of these events at the Annapolis Makerspace website at makeannapolis.org. And whether you're making art, software, sawdust, or just a mess, chances are you're already a maker. This has been Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes.
Here's to the teacher who spends her weekend helping children who need a little extra attention. To the soldier who missed the birth of his baby while serving overseas. To the EMT working full-time and taking night classes. To the police officers and firefighters working long hours away from their families to keep our families safe. Here's to you, our hometown heroes. I'm Alan Hyatt, Chairman and President of Severn Bank, and we know there are many heroes among us. Men and women who serve without expecting anything in return. Which is why we're honored to offer our Hometown Heroes program to educators, law enforcement officers, firefighters, first responders, healthcare workers, and military personnel. Whether you're opening a checking account or buying a new home, we're here to give back to you. Learn more about our Hometown Heroes program at severnbank.com. Severn Bank, here with you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.